You ready, Darby? All right, coming into camp, we had a few things that we needed to work on. Initially, we thought you were maybe frog squatting or even a little bit turtling, which is kind of hunchback. The way you're built, you're always going to be a little round back. You're going to have some board straight thing. As long as we can tell the spine is aligned, which means that you've got weight distributed fore and after your center of gravity, well distributed and well extended, you're okay. Looking at it in film, though, it really didn't look like a frog squat. Frog squat would mean your hips are lowered than your shoulders, and you're pointing your arrow into the ground where you're going to snap in that direction, or else move your arrow while you're in motion, and that'll hurt your accuracy. What we did see that was for sure a little bit underextended on the front end, okay, and a little bit too deep on the back end, meaning knee bend is beyond 90. It's kind of like going too deep with squats. Your muscles are too stretched to contract and explode in the opposite direction as quickly and powerfully as they could otherwise, okay? So we need to fix that. On top of that, you're kind of sitting back on your heels, too much weight back in your stance. So you're kind of sitting back like this and a little deep, a little underextended because you might go, and I'm exaggerating obviously here. Now, funny thing is, we got you marked as having too much weight forward as well. That's not quite right. What it was is you are sitting back, instead of driving with your legs up back into the hips towards your target, what you're actually doing was kind of popping like this. So you're kind of contracting as opposed to driving. Does that make sense? Okay, so we need to fix that. And I told you today, one of the things is we have you set up and just try to snap, keep your toes in contact with the ground, try to slide a yard with each one. We're not teaching sliding, you know that. We've already been through that. Whether you slide or not, I don't, as long as your energy is going back where it should, towards the hips and towards your target. You were sliding the ball on the ground, creating friction that'll slow you down and can also give you varied results on the release as well as accuracy. Different surfaces have different resistances. Artificial turf, the old school kind, you could bounce it 3 stories high. You know, grass versus this field turf and that kind of thing. The other thing we saw was you were kind of twisting the ball as you snapped, and you had your throwing hand thumb was kind of passive or neutral. It was over here, okay? So as you started to snap, you went like this, to where you really couldn't throw the ball. To throw a ball, we need that thumb opposed up. Be a perfect suit. More opposed to the rest of the fingers on the hand to an extent. Okay, and then maybe flatten the tilt and uncock the wrist slightly because you had a pretty extreme, and I'm exaggerating again for effect here, cock of the wrist. Generally, we want to see that the strings are pretty close to straight down. Does that make sense? Now, based on being kind of where you were, your leg drive is too vertical because if you're sitting on your heels, the only way you can extend is straight up. We need leg drive back into the hips, 15 or 20 degrees off of vertical, so that lower body motion energy can be captured and converged with the upper body motion energy traveling down the spine towards your target. Forms an arrow point, channels all your energy straight back towards your target. Make sense? Okay. So that's really what we're working on. The last thing is we had you popping up early a little bit sometimes. You pop up early, you're sending half your energy in the wrong direction. You're also cutting short your follow through, so your accuracy is going to suffer. Want to keep you down and through so that you can get everything channeled towards your target. Okay? And also keep proper weight distribution around your center of gravity, keep you balanced throughout. We get you set up right, we're not going to have to worry about you falling over at the end. We'll probably do a squishy ball as an example too, okay? I'm going to 3-step you. You ready? Okay, I'm going to pull you forward. Get your knee bend to 90 degrees or less, straighten the back and extend the arms. I'm going to raise you up, maximizing operating room under the torso. Then I'm going to push you back into the hips towards your target till your heels touch the ground, knees are over the toes, and solid on your feet. You feel comfortable? Give it a good hard throw. That's huge, okay? We can get you balanced. Now you just snap and release, right?
Yes, sir.
That's fine. But if you're off balance throughout the snap motion, you're never going to be as accurate as you could be otherwise. We need stability, balance, and leverage from start to finish so that after the snap you can do whatever it is. Cover, break down, block, whatever it may be. So I want to get you balanced. That's exceedingly important. Much more important than quitting the slide of the ball. Okay? Here you go, Connor. I'm not going to 3-step you this time. I'm just going to show you how we adjusted. You were a little underextended, a little flat-footed. So we unbent the knees, shifted you forward, and we didn't even shift you forward. We unbent the knees, then we grabbed the ball and pulled you forward to get you into a better, well-extended kind of position. Now lift the ball off the ground. Let's make sure you're solid on your feet. You're a little forward. Now drop it. No, don't go back on your heels. Lift it. Feel balanced on the balls of your feet. Drop it. That should be perfect. Try it from right there. Let's see what happens. Awesome. You're just in that habit of falling over, aren't you? Okay. When we get you on the hill tomorrow, snapping uphill, that'll help a ton. Always wear cleats. Never snap on a wet hill. Always use a spotter. And if you want to be doubly cautious, wear a helmet and shoulder pads. Okay? You know that, and you'll see it on the hill tomorrow. Spotter locks his elbow at 90 degrees here. So all I want to do, I'm going to give you a little shoulder shove to channel your energy a little better back towards your target. Go ahead. See the balance?
So I get more speed.
Yeah, because you're channeling everything going where it should. Now try to replicate that by yourself. Try to drive harder back into the hips. More of a gut crunch, more of a leg drive back into the hips. Remember the power drill? Knees to chi-chis, as we like to say, for the takeaway drill. Rip everything back into those hips. I don't care if you slide or not, but rip into the hips and towards your target. Excuse me. Better. Okay. Now you don't have to slide. You know that. But I don't want you leaving planet Earth. And let's do one more thing. I'm going to push down on your lower back like the leg drive drill, so that you got to drive against me, and I'll channel it towards your target. Okay. Working on that, Darby, will help you be all you can be. I guarantee it. How'd that feel?
Good.
Okay. Any questions?
Yes,
I think we're making good progress. Let's document once the mini ball drill, or the squishy ball drill, which is basically to keep your head down. Now you're a blind, no, you're a traditional, so we can do this.
I'm blind.
Oh, are you blind? So I have the wrong chart here? Oh, I got your chart. Why'd they mark you down as traditional? Okay. So a blind snapper, this may not work. Actually, Connor, toss me that other ball, would you? You throw your head down and through?
Well, I don't look at all until I snap.
So you throw down and through.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm going to do is just hold this ball above your head. If you pop up early, you're not doing it now, so it's a non-issue, but it was coming into camp. Go ahead and set up. All I'm going to do is just tap you on the head to remind you, and if you pop up, you'll feel the tap, so you know you're not going down and through. Good. Now, I think I could correct your falling over real quickly. If we'll basically do this. Try to lead a little more with the chin as you come through. You're kind of blocking the camera there. That's okay. Try to lead with the chin a little bit. I'm not a blind snapper, but you kind of get the idea. And I didn't pay attention to what I did with my hands, but you understand what I'm saying. Sorry, Connor, you weren't ready for that? Sorry about that. Okay. I don't throw as hard as I used to. I can still put a little. Yeah, try to lead through a little. Try to throw the head a little harder. Doesn't always work for everybody. We don't want you too conscious of it, because it's really important to really lead with the throw of the arms. There it is. That's a thing of beauty. You got any questions?
No, sir.
That's looking awesome. There we go, Darby. Looking pretty good. Made some adjustments, right? Not too wide, not too deep, no pressure on the hip flexors. Good, quick two-handed throw. Okay, kind of jab that a little. We'll look at it from the side. Let's finish it strong. Looking pretty good. Now, you've been dragging the ball less until right now.
Yeah.
What's different? Let's keep it rolling. You're digging ruts, man. You're not pushing down on the ball, are you? What do you think you need to do to fix it? Maybe tilt the ball a little or not? Snaps are excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Just figure it out when you get home. So we did address it and you did eliminate it until right now. Okay. Let's stop it. Move it.